Welcome to Our Time Stories. I'm here to share memories from our generation, stories that remind us of simpler times, when neighbors knew each other and community meant something. Today, let me tell you about Peterson's Corner Drugstore. Every small town had one. That corner drugstore where you could get your prescriptions filled, buy a birthday card, and grab a cherry Coke all in one trip. Peterson sat right on Main Street with big windows that let the afternoon sun warm the wooden floors. Mr. Peterson had owned that place for 30 years. He was a thin man with wire-rimmed glasses and the kindest smile you ever saw. He knew every customer by name, not just their first name, but their kids' names, their ailments, and exactly how they liked their coffee. After school, teenagers would crowd around the soda fountain, sharing one chocolate malt between 3 friends because that's all they could afford. Mrs. Henderson would stop by every Tuesday for her heart medicine and somehow always end up staying 20 minutes to chat about her garden. The penny candy counter drew kids like moths to a flame. Little Billy Murphy would press his nose against the glass, trying to decide between Swedish fish and licorice wheels with the nickel his grandmother gave him. But Peterson's wasn't just about selling things. It was where you went when you needed advice, when you were worried, when you just needed someone to listen. I'll never forget the winter my father got laid off from the factory. Money was tight, and Mom needed her insulin, but we just didn't have the $15. I was 12 years old, standing next to her as she explained to Mr. Peterson that she'd have to wait until next week. He listened quietly, nodding, then reached under the counter and pulled out a brown paper bag. "Mrs. Collins," he said, "I've been meaning to give you this sample the drug company sent. Exact same medicine, just in a different bottle." Mom started to protest, but he held up his hand. "Now you'd be doing me a favor taking it off my hands. Can't have samples cluttering up my storage room." We all knew it wasn't a sample, but that was Mr. Peterson. He found ways to help people keep their dignity while keeping them healthy. Saturday mornings, the men would gather around the coffee pot near the front counter, solving the world's problems over steaming cups and powdered donuts. Mr. Peterson would listen to it all. Complaints about the weather, worries about the kids, celebrations of small victories. He was part pharmacist, part counselor, part friend. He knew Mrs. Johnson was lonely since her husband passed, so he always had a few extra minutes to chat. He knew Tommy Baker was struggling in school, so he'd slip him a comic book with his mother's headache powder. When the big chain pharmacy opened out by the highway, Peterson's couldn't compete. Mr. Peterson retired, and the building became a tax office, then a cell phone store. We gained convenience, maybe even saved a few dollars, but we lost something too. That place where everyone knew your name, where your pharmacist cared about more than just filling prescriptions, where community happened naturally. Sometimes I drive by that corner and remember what it felt like to be known, to belong somewhere. In our time, that meant everything. That's today's story from our time. Tomorrow, we'll remember when love letters meant everything. What's your corner drugstore story? Share it in the comments below.